my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, we did it! We did it, chat! Oh my goodness! We have $10 from Oregon Mike, who says, I never snipe anything, so I decided to snipe this. Oh my goodness, thank you. Thank you so much, Mike. That donation brought us to 1,000 Canadian dollars in support of Little Warriors.
Just as a heads up, y'all, I think we're gonna world record by like maybe 10 seconds.
Oh, wow.
We're looking at 47.56 as the current record that we set on Monday. So everybody help me out. Tell these foxes to talk faster. We might get there. I think we're gonna get there.
Yep,
oh baby, we're gonna get there. Time 47:43. So yeah, 13 seconds. There you go.
Wow.
World record on Prevent-A-Thon.
Now we can go fight the boss, but you know, we got to fight all these enemies in this room first. Or how about we just don't do that? Because for some reason, there are no autosave points in that entire dungeon until the boss key. And so once we get the boss key, we could just immediately death warp back to the start of the dungeon and just go straight to the boss.
Anyway, so this set of 3 hallways is what I'd call running from my problems. You'll notice I'm pretty fast when there's no enemies nearby, but I'm pretty slow when there are enemies nearby, so it's just kind of faster to let my friends deal with that like Sion is, and Sion is... See, Sion, this is what you get for taking my points. You get beat up.
But here's a little trick that I call rewards. Yeah. Ooh, I got it, bros. Yes! Oh,
wow.
Get in. I'm so happy about that. No joke.
On the second boss here, I just have to... Right timing, bit late. We're good!
This is super scuffed, but it'll be fine.
Yeah, that one didn't go quite as planned, but luckily I practiced enough to recover in that situation.
Sorry, yeah.
Time.
Now if we hit Diancie with an Illumina Orb, and she does a big sparkly burst of light and diamond dust and sparkles.
Prevent-A-Thon has Pat the dog as their mascot. This is the official mascot of my stream. This is Lena. As you can see, she is, like I said, she is an absolutely beautiful dog.
Right now, we also have a $10 donation from Square Bracket 857 Square Bracket 857 Square Bracket 857 Square Bracket. This is my favorite percent game percent in percent farm percent. I hope I read that right.
Yeah, that seems accurate.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe our cat made a donation.
A tasty beverage. Yep. Okay. I had some weird question in this one. I'm happy to not take the picture.
I thought for sure ham juice was gonna be the answer.
I know. Tell you. Ham juice enjoyers in shambles right now.
So when I first started driving, my grandfather got me this thing that is a really big sheet of paper, but it folds up really small, and it was like pictures of like the roads around me.
Hey everyone, welcome back. We've got another fantastic person here to interview with us to start off this beautiful Saturday morning. I have brought one of our new tech staff members. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Nick RP Green. I have, as of this marathon, I've joined Prevent-A-Thon as a new tech staff member. I'm really excited. This is my first Prevent-A-Thon as staff. It's my third Prevent-A-Thon, my first Prevent-A-Thon as staff. So I'm really excited about this.
We actually met at Prevent-A-Thon 3, where I was your host for one of your runs. How did you decide to get involved with Prevent-A-Thon?
Well, I mean, I did Prevent-A-Thon 3, and it was Metal Gear Solid 3, European Extreme, all characters. It was actually my first marathon run of that category. It was a really good run. So then for Prevent-A-Thon 4, I came back and did Metal Gear Solid, and I also joined in as a volunteer. So I was a host, and I did some restreaming as well. And I really enjoyed the restreaming stuff. And over the past year or so, I've really got more into the tech side of marathons, which I'm sure we'll probably talk about at some point. But yeah, following that, I really enjoyed it. I could see that there was a lot of potential, and I really wanted to here's how I could help and what I could learn from Prevent-A-Thon as well. So I signed up. You know, sent in my form, had a lovely interview, and yeah, you guys wanted me in, so here I am.
We were very excited to have you here. And then,
thank you.
What about Prevent-A-Thon? Is it the call to you? Is it something to do with Little Warriors or messaging?
I mean, Little Warriors definitely is something that draws me in. I'm a dad myself. I've got a 1.5 year old. It sometimes only feels like 1.5 months. I've got 1.5 year old. So, you know, as a dad now, you know, seeing these stories of what these children go through, it's a hell of a lot harder. It's a lot more personal now for me to get involved with something like that. But one of the other things that really drew me to Prevent-A-Thon is the community. It's such a massive community. There's loads of staff members, there's always loads of volunteers, and it's great to work in such a big team. I've done a lot of small marathons, and I've led a couple of small marathons where it's been very, very small teams. It's a lot of hard work. So what's been really nice and kind of relaxing a little bit, it's not been relaxing, it's been quite stressful getting prepared, getting ready for this point. But the slightly relaxing bit about it is I've only had to focus on my one area. I've just had to focus on tech, and that's been really nice to really sort of put my heart and soul into that one bit, making that one bit really good, and knowing that there's lots of other people there that are going to make the rest of the run and the rest of the stream look and feel fantastic for everyone.
So I've worked with you on some of those other marathons. It's been a roller coaster of experiences.
It has.
And you've been fantastic on the tech side. It's been a joy to work with you. I've seen a little bit of sneak peeks of what you've been doing on the background. Would you like to tell us what it is you've been working on for us?
Yeah, so I've developed a sort of stream package. It's called Speedrun Tools UK. Because if you can't tell by my outrageous accent, I am British. I'm from the UK. I'm not Canadian, but I've very much enjoying my time with my new Canadian friends. And the idea with it, when I first got into marathon work, the very first sort of thing doing stuff with NoTG and stuff like that was for Metal Gear speedrunners, and it was very daunting trying to get into it and learn. Oh, this is JavaScript and this is a web-based thing, and it's all over the place. And then I joined and helped set up Pixel Perfect, and I really started to learn how that sort of built together. But it was such a huge learning process, and there's so much stuff about marathon setups and different bundles and packages, and you can get this from there and this from there, and what there isn't is a really nice package all in one that you can just download and go with. And that's the intention behind Speedrun Tools UK, building something that is easy for anyone to download. Yes, you've got a few prerequisites. You need to download node.js, you'll need to download a couple of other little bits, but once you've got the package, it's there, it's ready, and it should be easy for anyone to use. And automation's the other key behind it, is making it so that your tech volunteers, you already have a stressful time as it is, so making all of that process as automated and easy to work with as possible is kind of key, and that's really what's kind of driven it. And I'm really pleased that once I joined the team here at Prevent-A-Thon, so I was very keen to get that implemented, and that's what we're using for this marathon. So I'm hoping people have recognized that it looks very different from previous Prevent-A-Thons, but yeah, that's the Speedrun Tools UK sort of injection into Prevent-A-Thon.
So, speaking of our wonderful team members, we actually had one of the questions for you sent in from one of our team members. We had Pat the dog who wanted to ask you, bork, 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 bork.
Bork, 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 bork. Is that a suitable answer?
That is a very appropriate answer. I'm sure he will be very pleased with that. So with all this work you've done volunteering, what was the one thing you would give yourself as advice? If you could catch yourself before any of this volunteering, before any of the organizing, and with the experience you have now, and you could go back when you were starting to think, I want to volunteer for speedrunning, what would you tell yourself?
I think it would be to really not hold back. I'm quite apart from when I'm on stream and like when I'm in in this sort of situation where I'm kind of invited here and I feel like I belong. I'm a very shy, kind of closed off person. I don't tend to push myself into conversations. If anyone who's on the Discord server may know, I'm not normally that talkative on the server. But that's because I've always been kind of reserved. But Prevent-A-Thon particularly has really let me open up a little bit more, and that's the advice that I go back with. Start to make those connections early. Really, the speedrunning community, every speedrunning community is always so welcoming. So really sort of getting to know people and being, feeling free to chat and talk. It doesn't even have to be about speedrunning. If you just want to talk about, obviously we all love video games. That's a great topic that we all enjoy. So really, I tell myself, start talking to people more, get in there, learn who people are, and just enjoy your time online, because it's a wonderful place to be. Where else could I, a British guy, be having such wonderful conversations and building such wonderful things with a whole group of Canadians and Americans? It's wonderful.
We have so many people volunteering on staff. It's Canadians, Americans, people from the UK. We've got me from Puerto Rico. We've got people all over the place. So it's a wonderful, diverse staff that we're so proud to have. So, Nick, thank you so much for being with us. It has truly been a pleasure working with you. I have enjoyed all of our time working together. And I will say, my final question to you to leave the viewers, what run are you most excited for today?
Today, and there's two reasons for this. My most excited run is the Typing of the Dead. From a tech perspective, we worked with the runner, and they should be having a hand cam as well, so they're going to have like multiple screens. This is something I've specifically developed with the layouts that I've developed, so I'm really looking forward to seeing that hand cam in use. But also, I love the House of the Dead series anyway. I used to, whenever I was on holiday as a kid, there'd always be a House of the Dead arcade unit, and I'd always play on it. I have Typing of the original. It's the original Typing of the Dead, not the remastered one that came out. I have it myself. It's such a fun, and with the hand cam as well, it's going to be so fun just to see like those hands blasting away, getting those. There's some really obscure words and phrases and sentences that come out in that game, and it's just going to be amazing to see. And the other wonderful thing is it's all RNG. You never know what word's going to come next, so the runner really has to be sort of on it, thinking on the fly. Right, what next? It's going to be like just adrenaline, pure adrenaline from start to finish. It's going to be so good.
All right. Thank you so much, Nick, and I will chat with you later. And everyone, please stay tuned for more Prevent-A-Thon.
Secrets have power until you expose them.
When I was 12, I told my parents what happened, but the police told us to stay quiet. Staying quiet nearly destroyed me. That's why Be Brave Ranch matters. It's a place where kids can speak their truths and find love instead of shame. Secrets lose their power when you bring them into the light. Let's help these kids heal together.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. So I've brought a new friend with me this time. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey everyone, I'm Mikariosa. I also go by Rio. I'm part of the social staff here at Prevent-A-Thon.
All right, so thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for all the amazing work that you've done on the socials team. I've gotten to see a whole bunch of your stuff. It's been amazing, and you actually were the contributing member who created one of our new best friends at this event. Would you like to tell us more about him?
Yes, so I created Pat the Dog, who is a good boy beagle who's inspired by the Be Brave Ranch therapy dogs that's at Little Warriors. And he is just the greatest, bestest dog there ever was. No notes, hands down.
I didn't actually know that Pat the Dog was a beagle. That's kind of cool to know. Admittedly, I'm a cat fan. I'm a cat mom. So I'm more versed in cats than dogs, but it's nice to know what our beloved Pat the Dog is in terms of cat species. So what is it specifically about Prevent-A-Thon that called to you and then made you go, this is the organization that I want to help socials with?
So I am a big fan of like grassroots organizations, like smaller marathons and that sort of thing. So being able to help out, it just feels more meaningful to me. And I think that the messaging and the charity that we are in support of is just awesome all around.
Yeah, a lot of other speedrun events support many great causes. We see a lot of animal shelters. We see a lot of mental health causes. We see a lot of mental health, a lot of LGBT rights causes. And I feel that Prevent-A-Thon's a bit different because we take on a different topic that's not as commonly seen. Is there anything specific about Little Warriors that called your attention, or is it just the general cause that felt like a good thing to put your energy into?
I think the general cause for me, the work that they do is just really great, and I love all of their different programs and incentives, and it's just really near and dear to my heart.
So the other thing that I have to ask you then is, this is a speedrun event at the end of the day. And one of the things that we speedrunners are known for is we tend to cling on to memes. So what is your favorite speedrun meme that you've seen?
So I'm gonna be very basic here. I think That's Never Happened Before is my favorite because it just always happens.
Agreed. It's fun, and that's like the classic one because it's so popular and common because it happens so much in the community. So it's definitely a good one. So I have to ask you, we have an absolutely packed schedule, and we've already heard from Games Committee chatting about all the amazing things that have been going on this event. But what is it about today, specifically on Saturday, that you're excited for? What on today's list are you looking at and going, oh, I really want to see this?
I am super excited about the mystery race. It's gonna be so hype with MVZ and Drawer Night. It's just, we don't know what it's gonna be until it happens.
I mean,
you know?
I know what it's gonna be because
Well,
I'm
you
running
do.
the mystery race. I can tell you right now, it's gonna be interesting, and I'll give all of you viewers a little bit of a preview. Let's just say that Bob the Builder would be proud of the game that our racers are going to be playing.
Ooh.
It's going to be a fun one, and it's going to be silly, and it's going to be very enjoyable. So I've got one final question for you to close off this interview. And it is actually a question from a member of our community that you might be familiar with. The question for today for you comes from none other than Pat the dog, who asks, bork, 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 bork?
Bork, 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 yap, yap.
I couldn't agree more. That is a fantastic answer. Rio, thank you so much for being here. It has been an absolute pleasure to chat with you. Thank you for all the amazing work that you've done for this event. And I know we'll see more of you soon, and I will see you in chat. All right, bye, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your day.